Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get
In
into it.
Russia, tachographs were discussed in April 2014, when the law came out, obliging drivers of some cars to equip their vehicles with such equipment. It is time for us to talk about tachographs. The conversation will be serious and long. What it is? Under the tachograph is a special device for measuring and controlling the parameters of car movement. It is a small device that is responsible for registering and saving the most important indicators of car movement: speed, route, compliance with traffic regulations, adherence to the norms of labor and rest. Zgnoza pravilami dorożnego ruchu. Wodzi ma w poczywity psla for good intibispernowa problema za kermom. Podpatrzynak, ma drawati ni minszu 40 wielen. Spoczatku cei prostri wykorzystowawca dla zbierzenia rytha, zdrowia wod, skoroczenia, klukust awarii. Zaraz to iowa wykorzystania rozszerzyła ta sam pristra stala pełnoznaczna funkcjonalnymi. Da основних додалася так можливість. Вксовення швидкісного режиму визначення її швидкість. Беруть роботи вода. Припиніть перевищення швидкість та втома вода. На територію країни-учасник в Союзу заборонено виїзд без тахограф. Як були поставлені на облік сла 16 червня 2010 року. Для чого потрібен тахограф? Ми з'ясували. З цим проблем уже не повинно виникати. А ось за блоком есказе тахографа не все зрозуміло. Такий апарат став обов'язковим ВСК тахограф 2013 року. Неані такий механізм шифрування, дешифрування інформації, яка фіга тахографом. Робота ескази рентуться на цифровому папіс, видачею якого займається спеціальний засвачувальний центр. Встановлення такого блоку унеможливлює коригування, видалення інформації без паперової розшифровки. The encoder is a small unit equipped with an input for the navigation antenna. This unit can be inserted inside all digital tachographs authorized for use in the territory of the Russian Federation. Any manipulation with this device is prohibited in the absence of a license issued by the FSB. When you know what a tachograph's SCSI unit is, we can move on to studying the following questions. What a tachograph consists of and how it works. Although such devices are produced in a great variety, but their principle of operation remains unchanged. Even their structure is similar in most cases. Speed sensor is responsible for recording the speed of the car and determining the distance left behind. The battery ensures the recording of the collected information. Onboard device is responsible for controlling the mode of operation of the car, optimal speed and driver's rest. Display with buttons for control. Encryption device, a card reader, which identifies each driver. A device for outputting information on paper. GPRS module for data transmission to the server. Read also, whether it is worth it to have an anti-slip mat in the car. The device can be connected using CAN buses and other less complicated methods. It has already become clearer how the tachograph works and what elements it consists of, so we can move on. We will have to consider the existing varieties of this equipment, which has recently become mandatory for some drivers. Types of tachographs. These devices are produced in several varieties. The classification is based on different parameters. Round models are connected to the socket of the speedometer. Radio format devices are mounted in the socket designed for the car stereo. Digital models are modern, reliable, and tamper-proof. Information is recorded in the built-in memory. It is difficult to get close to it, delete, or change. Any attempts to get to the information will be recorded, and the driver will have to bear responsibility for such actions. Analog have an electronic mechanical basis. They are the very first copies, which have now become obsolete and even prohibited. Such devices can be easily hacked, so their information cannot be considered reliable. Which tachographs are authorized for installation in Russia? You cannot install any tachograph you like on your car. This device must comply with the requirements set out in Orders No. 36 and number 348 of the Ministry of Transport. Two types of devices are allowed to be installed on Russian cars. models produced by domestic manufacturers equipped with a SCSI unit. These include copies of Tachographs SM and VDO DCO 3283, model CASB DT, 20M and TCA 02 and K, Mercury TA 001, and EFA's V2 Rus, as well as tachographs Drive 5 and Drive Smart. Devices from European manufacturers authorized for use in Russia are represented by English VDO DTCO 1381 and SE 5000, Austrian EFES 4. Which cars need a tachograph in Russia? The law clearly stipulates on which vehicles it is mandatory to install a tachograph. The list of such vehicles is as follows. Vehicles used for commercial purposes. Private cargo transportation requires installation of tachographs with AUT mode. Buses with more than 8 passenger seats. Trucks used for transportation of dangerous goods. Heavy trucks with a payload of March 5th, 15 tons. Which cars do not need a tachograph? The group of vehicles that do not need to install monitoring devices is vast. Let us consider below the vehicles that do not need to be fitted with tachographs: city and suburban buses, trolleybuses, vehicles used for military purposes and by internal agencies, tractors, loaders, and self-propelled vehicles, vehicles not intended for commercial transportation that are more than 30 years old, autos used in the training process, special vehicles. Read also, Audi cars, localization of assembly plants and production features, how to properly use the tachograph. In order that in the process of operating a commercial car there are no problems, you need to know how to use the tachograph. First of all, each driver must have his own personal card. It is a formulator with a microchip inside. With its help, it provides control over the actions of the driver who is present on the route. Such a card is valid for 3 years. After the expiry of this period, it is necessary to reissue it. If you have a driver card, you need to familiarize yourself with how to use the tachograph. The step-by-step instructions are as follows. The driver inserts his/her card into the device with the chip on top. The display will show the data of the driver to whom the card belongs. The driver can start driving and the device will automatically register the driving mode. At each stop, the current operating mode of the device should be checked. As soon as the ignition of the car is turned off, the device will go into sleep mode. When the driver change is completed, it is required to remove the card by pressing the corresponding button. It is forbidden for the driver to drive without a card or to use someone else's formulator. The rest mode must be observed. According to the tachograph, it is possible to drive 4 hours per day, followed by a 40-minute rest. Penalty for the absence of a tachograph. Buying a tachograph is not an inexpensive venture, but the fines for its absence or being in a defective state are not low either. It will be much more profitable to spend once to buy a device than to constantly pay fines. The traffic police inspector has the full right to check the tachograph. For this purpose, he has a personalized card. If violations are detected, the following fines can be issued. The official of the company that owns the car is subject to a fine of 5 to 10,000 rubles. If violations are detected on the part of the driver, the fine may range from 1 to 3,000 rubles. A legal entity is fined a minimum of 15,000 rubles. The maximum mark is 30,000 rubles. Administrative responsibility entails not only the absence of a control device, but also the defective condition of the tachograph. Therefore, its condition should be checked constantly. Tachograph, a very necessary and useful device that should be present on all vehicles, especially trucks. With its help, you can reduce the number of accidents on the roads, which are caused by tired drivers who fall asleep at the wheel, and violations of speed limits. In conclusion, understanding the tachograph is essential for anyone involved in the transportation industry. This vital device not only helps monitor driving hours and ensure compliance with regulations, but also enhances road safety for everyone. By familiarizing yourself with its various types and functionalities, you can better appreciate how it contributes to efficient fleet management and driver well-being. Whether you are a driver, fleet manager, or simply interested in the mechanics of transportation, knowing how tachographs work will empower you to make informed decisions and promote safer driving practices. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into the world of tachographs.